Welcome back once again to the storage room of doom, the home of Greg's collection and the place where I'm actively working on getting things documented, organized, played with, sold, thrown away, or in today's case, fixed. I was looking at this workbench here and I have all these PlayStation 3 controllers. You may be wondering, how the heck did I get all of these and why are they in such terrible condition? And that's because they were all free. These three were in a free bin at a yard sale and I was like, okay, I'll snag those. And this one Deb gave to me. It has a crack in it. Oh yeah, that whole side right there is cracked. So that case is bad, but all the buttons seem to be good. In this case, literally, this case is decent, but the control stick is done for. This one, pretty good overall. This one might be the best of the bunch, and I don't see anything overly wrong with that, although the stick is pretty bad on this one. And then this one is missing the home button. I don't think I've ever actually opened up a PlayStation controller. The only controller I've ever fixed in my life has been the Nintendo 64 one because of their terrible thumbstick issue. Thankfully, these don't have that, although like I said, some of these are pretty worn down and not looking very good, and also very dirty too. But that just comes along with the territory of getting free stuff. But I do think that maybe I can turn these into something that will resemble a normal PlayStation 3 controller, and then we can add that to the collection, because I actually do have some, and I imagine one day we'll probably get into all of that. I have a bin back here. You see those yellow and black bins? There's a whole one of those that's just PlayStation 3 stuff. So we'll get there, and I know I have controllers, but this is like a fun thing for me to do, and I'm excited to get into this. So let's dive into the world of repairing PlayStation 3 controllers and like kind of scavenging parts to make a good one or two out of it. I wonder if any of these actually work. That would probably be good to test. Oh man, that's old school. Miscellaneous cables. Yep, that's what I need. I've got two of them, so let's just plug them both in. See if this thing can handle it. Let's try this black one first. I'm not getting anything out of that. Are the batteries just that dead? I let it go for a few minutes and got nothing, so I decided that I'd bring my PlayStation 3 out here, got it plugged in, and I'll see if this makes a difference if we actually plug it into the console. Will it get any life? Yes! Silver one working, no problem. Let's test this one out. Yeah, that one works. Red one. Yep. That one's working. They all worked. That's awesome, dude. Okay. So we're in business. Now that we have some confidence in our battery, let's use this one as our test dummy and rip it apart and see what it's like to open up a PlayStation 3 controller and what's inside and what I can expect. Because this is probably going to be the one of all of them that pretty much gets thrown away. Unless we use the case, which yeah, probably won't. Looks like there's a total of 5 screws in the back of the controller that if you unscrew those, the back of this should pop right open. Ooh. Okay. That is the inside of a PlayStation 3 controller. I lost a couple of my buttons. The triggers have springs. I'm never going to be able to get that back in the way that it was. There's a screw right there. Let's take this out. And let's see if we can take this whole thing out. The hardest part is going to be getting those triggers back in. I think that's going to be a real issue. But yeah, there you go. There's the thumbsticks. How are these on here, I wonder? Are they just sitting on top of there? Yeah. Wow. So there's a broken thumbstick and how that comes off. If anything, I'm just kind of interested in seeing how these things work. Like, I've owned tons of PlayStation controllers and things. This has never happened to me. Like, what happened in your world that not only did the rubber part come off, but also like that broke? This looks like it got thrown against a wall or something. This was not loved. Whew. There it is. Oh God. It's out. And there's all of our buttons inside there. Look at that. That's crazy. How in the world would I ever get that back together? That's the question. We're gonna find out. We'll keep this one safe at all costs as a fallback, but this one with the crack case definitely needs replaced. This one's feeling pretty darn good. Even the buttons, yeah, everything on that feels nice. At least it does for now. That's before I tear it apart and we never get it back together the way that it's supposed to be again. Here we go again, number 2. Gotta see how this spring is. Maybe I can use this footage in the future. I can't really tell. How is the R2 button sprung into the bottom there? One part's over the top of that there. And the other part, I'm assuming, is back behind it. Here's the inside of this one. This one's a little bit nicer. I wouldn't mind using the internals of this in the case of one of these black ones, I suppose. This one is a little worn down on the back, whereas the other one that I have actually isn't too bad on the back there. You can see the difference between these. So I might break this one down just for the case of it. But man, we're going to now have 3 controllers that'll be broken down. I have no idea whether I can get them back together or not. It's kind of a shame to be breaking this one down because it all feels pretty good except for that. And again, I don't know how that center button came out. I've never had that happen. Of course, I tend to take care of my stuff. Unlike whoever owned these. Some monsters. Monsters, I tell you. That one actually came off, so now I can see the clips. Maybe this isn't going to be so bad. I'm kind of playing around with this clip here. I don't think it's going to be terrible. Famous last words, they say. I'm just taking this one apart for the case. All right. There's another one. Starting a little collection here of all my PlayStation 3 internals. But this is the case that I want to use. And I guess I'll just dump those out. Want that, and I want that. And I'm going to clean this up. Might as well, as the screws all fall out of here. Look at all that hand grime. Oh. My shell is mostly dry, and now we are just left with the very simple task of trying to piece this back together. I just learned something new while I was doing this. The gray controller front and the black ones are not the same, particularly when you look right there. That's not the same as that side, and that's why this doesn't want to go in, because this is set up for that. So I'm going to have to use one of these ones, unfortunately, and I wasn't loving some of the sticks on these, but I might have no choice, although I could probably swap them if I wanted to. Maybe I'll do that, but I'm gonna have to use one of these nasty ones. Probably not the one that's broken. This is the one that was terrible, so I guess I'm gonna use this one. Do a little swap out here, since I was liking that stick. Actually, which one's the best one? I should use the right stick if I can get one, because those are gonna be less worn down. What if we put this right stick on the left side here? I think that's the move. Assuming they're all universal, which I would imagine they are. Is everything else clean on this? It all looks pretty good. I'd say so. I did notice too, I almost put this back together without putting in this membrane that goes over the start and select buttons. So this is what the inside of this looks like if you're trying to do one of these at home. Again, I've never done this before. This is like an experiment. Whether it works or not, still to be determined. But hey, at least I'm doing something. Kind of having some fun while I'm at it, too. Although it probably looks a little stressful to watch. I guess it kind of is a little bit. As I try to click all these things in to where they're supposed to go. That's going to go there. Oh, I need to put a R1 in. We're missing an R1 on this one. Ooh, that was a good click. Look at that. Looks good from the front, eh? The back, not so much. The shoulders, oh, even worse. Yeah, that's got to click in somehow. Let's see if we can make it happen. Hey, Beebs. The struggle is real here. Look at all those buttons and things, eh? Trying to put together a PlayStation 3 controller. I tore a bunch of them apart, and now the hard part is putting them back together.
I don't guess how a controller was built.
Yeah, there's all these like little membranes inside and stuff. Here's the inside of one if you want to see what it looks like.
Holding a controller, but that's useless.
Who even needs the shell? I mean, we could just hold the pieces in our hands, right? It's like we just kind of fling the pieces around a little bit.
So you're combining all these controllers in the one, you said?
Yeah, I see what I need to do. I have like
3 controllers.
There we go. I have 4 controllers that I'm trying to turn into one. And I had like this plan going in, and then it turns out that one controller I was going to use is not the same as the rest.
Play with control, but never seen one that's hollow.
That's how they are. On the inside, that is. You're not going to believe this, but we have L1 and R1. I got to get the secondary triggers in there, though. If I remember correctly, that spring goes like that. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Let's do the same thing on this side. Tried putting that one on, but I think it needs to go like... the way this works is the spring is down like that, and then the other part of the spring is up inside the trigger. So we will try to replicate that, and yeah, we got it. We got it. That's crazy. Okay. We're ready to put the back on. I am both shocked and amazed right now. This went way better than I anticipated. So we'll put this back on and we'll have a controller. Wow. Dude. That feels good. I did it, buddy. Yeah, I think I did it. We'll show these guys the only thing more challenging than constructing a PlayStation 3 controller is separating 2 Lego plates. Dude. Do you purposely do this just to see me struggle, buddy?
No. I was just seeing if I was building it right, but then I realized using...
Sometimes you just gotta get your
And then I kind of thought of C-3PO. I'm like, that's not how you build a figure.
Sometimes getting a little more leverage under it, you put one on there like that. And if you can stick those together hard enough, sometimes you can get those ones to separate. That's the secret. Now you're stuck with those together, but that you just do that. Way easier than PlayStations. Here's your brick separator. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. As we gaze upon the remains of what was once 4 PlayStation controllers, we now do the impossible math, and we turn it into 1 controller. Going backwards, it seems, but one that works and one that's in good condition. Will it work, though? Let's find out. I've been going a little crazy using my Legends Ultimate arcade cabinet as HDMI out for my PlayStation. HDMI is not quite long enough, so I have this sitting on top of my cards from my childhood. Typical. This one's been sitting here charging up, possibly. Let's put in the black controller that I just fixed up. There we go. It's on. And as you can see here, the controller is actually working. Let's go have some fun. They get a classic going for everybody here. That never gets old. Okay, let's see if the controller actually works. Oh, heck yeah, Clark, man. Oh no, I legally own this game. I just happen to have it downloaded to my PlayStation 3.
That makes no sense.
Along with every other game for Sega Genesis and Nintendo and Super Nintendo.
FBI, open up!
Uh-oh, FBI's here, guys. I gotta go.
Clark's dash channel canceled.
We're shut down. Oh my gosh. How dare you, sir? Get him, Tails. Sometimes I send Tails in to do the dirty work.
Hi, Tails. I'm leaving.
This game was my life in the mid-90s, dude.
It is pretty. It does legit look good.
Let's see if you can beat Robotnik. With the new controller! Secondary controller. Still alive and intact, sitting on the floor. Oh no. Clark's he's got 2 coins. Don't let him kill you in the first match, Clark, man. You got this, dude. If not, blame it on the controller. Tails is taking the beating.
When I'm at school, that's the principal.
You know you're supposed to jump on it, not over it, right? There you go. This may take a couple days, but Clarkman will do it.
I almost died again. Tails is dying. Safety drill. Severe weather drill. Metering the severe weather drill.
Best part in the game.
Oh, look at all those. Are those penguins and bunnies? Like, oh, they're birds and bunnies.
You did it. The controller did its job.